guys, what's going on? Welcome to Sunday Night Charts with Jim of All Trades. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Ready to dive into the charts and see what's going on in the crypto space? Let's do it. Let me see what's going on with my microphone here. Hold on one second, guys. All right, I'm back. I had to fix my wire. My wire is being pulled out somehow and messed up. So anyway, yeah, got it fixed. Sorry about that. All right, hope you're well. Let's see. Let me start here. Where am I going? Welcome to Sunday Night Charts. I hope you're well. It is April the 13th, 2025, and this is Sunday Night Charts, and we're going to look into the market here. Guys, there's an economic crisis coming. It is on the way. That's what the video title is. It is going to set up a worldwide shift to a digital economy. Now, in order for that to happen, the world has to be crying for a solution. That means, guys, there's something bad coming down the pipe. There's something that's worse than we can even imagine. I don't know how fully that's going to take shape, but I believe that all markets, except gold and silver and the metals market and the asset market where people send their money in times like this, those are the markets that are going to go parabolic to the upside. And I think we've already started to see that. So what does that mean for crypto, guys? I think crypto is going to crash right along with the S&P and the NASDAQ, as well as the dollar. You're going to see all markets tanking, okay? Because this world is about to shift into something completely new, completely revolutionary. And in order to do that, the entire old system has to die off. It has to be killed, okay? So I am going to lay it all out the best I can, the best I can. But with that said, I'm not here to give you any kind of financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and everything I say is what I believe. It doesn't make it true, and it doesn't make it certain to happen. It just means these are my thoughts and opinions. And it's the way I look at the market. I am an Elliott wave trader, and so when it comes to trading, I use wave structure and patterns that we see in the waves overwhelmingly repetitiously. You look at the character of the waves, fives and threes, guys, fives and threes. We try to identify those fives and threes, put them together as Elliott, a guy in the early 1900s, designed or noticed, and develop a perspective for where the market might be heading. I'm not going to predict the future, but I'm going to try to understand the wave structure and then convey it to you. What are some possible things that the market can do based on what we're seeing? We're also going to put that together with the worldwide global situation. We're going to look at the global economic status of the world. We're going to look at just the global conditions and what is setting up in our market. So we're going to have a discussion tonight and just look at the market from an Elliott wave standpoint. We're going to look at it from support and resistance. We're also going to look at the RSI. We're going to look at volume. We're going to analyze the market from a correlation analysis. We're going to look at all the charts. Where are they pointing? And we're going to try to understand that in light of the global news that's happening, okay? And just put it together, understanding the tactics of market makers and those with money, the people with money, the big boys, the big banks that run this world, and how they take the money from the little guy like you and me. And so when we understand all those things and do our best to put it together, we can come up with a pretty good plan for trading this market. If you need help in this in trading this market, I've got a pretty good strategy for it. Now, I am a scalper, and most of my strategies are designed for in and out of the market relatively quickly. But you can also take my strategies and adapt them to higher time frames. You have to be more patient, and you have to be a lot less aggressive with your leverage, for sure. The lower the time frame, the higher the leverage you can use But the higher the time frame, the lower the leverage you must use in order to adapt it. But with that said, that's kind of who I am, and that's what we're doing tonight on Sunday Night Charts. We're going to have some rational TA, guys. I'm not a bear boy. I'm not a bull boy. I'm just a guy who sees the market up and down, and I'm not betting on any particular direction. I'm going to give you an unbiased opinion of where I think the market's going and why I think it's going there temporarily. All right? So with that said, let's jump into Sunday Night Charts. Let me say hi to everybody. Say hi to me very quickly, and we'll get started. What's up, Keith? Moonboy, he's doing his running. He's getting ready for he is a runner and listens to me while he's running and prepping for his marathons. So I hope I'm in your ear, buddy. Let me whisper sweet nothings in the ear of Keith M. What's up, buddy? How you doing? JQ. Hey, JQ has found my series. I've been in full-time ministry, guys, since 2004. Currently kind of on a time where I'm not in full-time ministry at the moment right now. I'm just at a little helping out a little church in Michigan. I'm just being a part of the church, to be honest with you, in Michigan right now. But with that said, I do have some teaching on my channel. I uploaded it a while back. We did some Bible studies on our Discord, and they're kind of long format, and I can be heavy-winded. So anyway, with that said, take them for what they are. I hope they bless you. He found them. I think there's a playlist if you want to find the playlist on the channel. I hope you enjoy them. They give a broad perspective of how you should be reading the Bible with a Christ-centered view, understanding the Old Testament through the lens of Jesus, and also what I believe the end times teach in the Scriptures. So I hope that's an enjoyable thing for you. So glad you found him, JQ. Glad you found him. Hey, Danton, Moonboy count. I tell you what, I will give you a Moonboy count. I will look at the market from a bull perspective, guys. I will do it, I promise. But I'm also going to look at a bear perspective, and I'm not gonna give you a biased position. I'm just going to say what I think the overall market is saying. Okay. So anyway, yeah, we'll do that. What's up, Mr. Reveles Elias? What's up, buddy? I miss you, man. Jim TV. I hope it's just as good as it's always been. Do you believe in Matic? He, as to quote my song. I do not believe in Matic, but I'll look at it for you tonight if you want me to. What's up, D-Crypto? I got D-Crypto in the house. D-Crypto, you've got a YouTube channel, don't you? Check out D-Crypto's YouTube channel if you got one. I think you do. I'm pretty sure you do. But anyway, glad you're here. And Kimosabi, he's my right-hand man. He's been a friend for a lot of years, and he has been the what do I say? The moderator of my YouTube lives for years now, and does it just because he's a good dude. Dude, you can quit anytime you want. You don't have to. Trust me, you don't feel any obligation to continue. You've been so faithful every Sunday for many years. So thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Make sure you check out Kimosabi's YouTube channel. He's got some videos parallel to 1929, what's happening right now, and no, I haven't seen that video yet, man. I'll check it out tonight. In fact, I'll be watching it tonight, and look forward to a new video coming out on your perspective. Love your perspective, brother. It's always balanced and good. All right. Well, with that said, guys, since 2019, man, wow, that's a long time. Where else are you going to be on Sunday night? I don't know. I could think of a lot of better places to be. But some of you guys are here faithfully every week, and it just bewilders me. So I get messages from some of you just let me know you look forward to Sunday Night Charts, and I'm just like, really? I don't know why, but man, I'm thankful for you, and thank you for you those of you that encourage me on a regular basis. Keith M is one of those guys, just an encourager. He'll send me a note every so often just to remind me there's somebody watching, and then I get messages like you guys gave me tonight, just letting me know you're here. Salvador, I missed you, man. Mr. Deza, what's up, buddy? I'll give you an ultra bear market count. Promise, I will. All right, I think I said hi to everybody. Said hi to me. I hope you're well. Let's jump into the analysis, guys, shall we? Let's rock. There's 35 of you. Hit the likes. Let me see if I can get 35 likes equal to the number of viewers, like instantly. How many of you are listening and hit the like button right now? Let's see those likes pile up really quick. All right, been doing a lot of talking. I need to take a little drink and get started on the analysis. All right, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, because I've done that in previous Sunday night charts, on explaining that Bitcoin is, I think Bitcoin is topped. I still believe Bitcoin is topped. I made a video on it. I think that was last week's video. I explained that I believe it is topped. I believe personally we are in a multi-year bear market. That doesn't mean straight down. It means that we are going to systematically be moving down, that there's going to be bullish times of the market and bearish times of the market. But the general pattern, the general trend of the market is going to be down, not up. Okay? All right. So that is my belief. I don't start with that belief, but I believe the market has given me that belief. Okay? Now, just very quickly, just the quick... there are 19 likes now and 39 viewers. We're getting closer. Some of you guys need to hit the like button for me. All right, so just very quickly, my quick macro count here is we've got 5 waves here. 1, 2, there's 3, there's 4, and we've got 5. And in each of those waves, they're all made up of 5 waves. So that's what I would call a leading diagonal, where the 4th wave overlaps the 1st wave, which cannot be in normal waves except in diagonals. So I think that is a leading diagonal. This is the beginning of major movement of Bitcoin. That means Bitcoin is going to go to the moon. It's not ready to go to the moon. I think there's going to be a 60% pullback minimum. I think more likely a 78% pullback to 88% pullback of the market. That means more than likely crypto is going to make it down to at least $23,000 again. Bitcoin will, but more likely going to make it down to about $10,000 to $12,000. I don't know if it's more likely, but it's equally as likely as 23,000. Okay, that's my belief. That's what I'm thinking. In other words, we're going to see a large pullback that's going to take time and energy out of the market. It's going to take a while for that to happen. In fact, if you look at the time frame of that kind of a move, what I just drew right there, that puts the end of the bear market sometime in 2035, if it happens to the time frame that I have drawn, 2035. That means for the next 10 years, we might be in a crypto bear market. But notice that there's an initial down move, okay, that's down, that will be followed by a relief rally, that both of which will take years to develop. Years. So I know a lot of you are looking for price action to go straight down and straight up, but that's not the way markets move. Markets move in phases, and they move in waves, okay? Waves and phases, okay? We have had the initial phase, the initial bullish phase of the market play out, and I believe it's done, okay? I believe it's finished. It finished at 100K, but it went beyond 100K and stayed there for just a little bit, but it's a major point of resistance. 100K is a major point of resistance. It is the biggest round number in crypto history. Why? Well, whenever Bitcoin shot up to $20,000 from $600 in 2017, okay, the moment it hit $20,000, everybody and their brother was looking for crypto to go to $100,000. Everybody was. People weren't looking for 50. People weren't looking for 40. They weren't looking for 70. They were looking for 100. And that has been the target ever since I can remember, because that's when I entered the crypto world in 2017, in January 2017, when Bitcoin was about $600. That's my first memory of crypto. That's my first memory of Bitcoin. Okay. And I remember saying, man, I should I buy a Bitcoin? And instead I bought 12 Litecoin instead. I bought 12 Litecoin, and I paid $30 for it at the time. So $30 for 12 Litecoin. I had a $300 investment, $360 investment in Litecoin. By the end of the year, I sold those same Litecoin for like $1,200 or $1,300. Okay, I mean profit. That's what I made, and I was like, whoa, I made $1,000. Now I wish I had bought a Litecoin, because I would have made $20,000, right? I wish I had bought a Bitcoin at the time, but I didn't buy a Bitcoin. I bought Litecoin because it's the way I was rolling. I was young. I didn't have a lot of money to throw at the market, and I was in ministry at the time and didn't have a lot of money and anyway, I did what I could do. But that's when I learned about trading, and I didn't learn it because somebody taught me about trading. I just figured trading out logically. I'm like, oh, I bought it and then I sold it. Oh, I can wait for a dip and buy it again and keep doing that. And so I've been chasing trading strategies that help me trade in this volatile market. I've learned to lose a bunch of money, and I've learned to make a bunch of money in this market. And I've learned about every negative lesson you can learn in this market. And so, anyway, with that said, we are looking at a market that is volatile. It is up and down, up and down. Now, I think the market is about to go down, but it's going to be a steady sell-off with a correction. I think this is what is coming. Okay, so don't think that we won't revisit areas. After we get down to some of these scary levels, don't think we're not going to revisit the top again. But everybody's going to get bullish again, and everybody's going to want it to go to the moon. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to take place. I think we're going to be in a multi-year bear market. Now, I don't know how fast that's going to happen. That could happen in 4 years. It could happen in 10 years, like I drew it. It could come down a lot faster like this, right? In which case, things would have to speed up in the world, okay? And we'd have to really start moving to crypto a lot faster, okay? But yeah, it could come down something like that, right, in 3 waves. But at the end of the day, we're looking for 3 waves to get down to a 786 retrace or an 88% retrace. I think those are likely target zones, okay? $23,000 is very likely. Now, do I think crypto is going to stay? Do I think Bitcoin's going to stay there? No, because eventually I think this is what the chart based on the US dollar is going to look like. Okay. All right, that's what I think crypto is eventually gonna do. Now, I don't think it's going to go up as fast as I just drew it. I think it's going to look a lot like the S&P now looks. It's just going to be a steady climb, okay? But this is the beginning phases of the market, okay? Until there's just a steady climb of the next generation. That means in this generation, you're not building wealth for yourself. You're actually building wealth for your children, okay, as you invest in crypto. You have to understand that's where we are in this market. In fact, we're getting ready to go into a scary season where the wealth of the world is being transferred, okay, and this is why the economic crisis is coming. It's not here yet. We're in the very infantile stages of the economic crisis. We're in the baby stages. It's going to escalate and get worse. It's coming. I guarantee you it's coming. But I can only guarantee you as much as anybody can guarantee anything, right? But we are in the infantile stages of major world calamity, okay? Now, if the world continues as it does and Jesus doesn't return, then this is the shape of the market. You're going to have a major downfall, and it's going to recover and eventually start moving to the upside. And that's when crypto, based on the dollar, is going to see exponential growth. The problem with that model is that the Bitcoin compared to the US dollar as you know it is unlikely to continue in that pattern, because the dollar as you know it, the US dollar, is going to die. We are currently in the death stages of the US dollar. Okay? We are currently in the death stages of the world's economy. Okay, that's what's happening right now. The entire world's economy is dying. Okay, why? Because the current economy is based on a baseless and worthless foundation. In other words, when you build a house on sand, it will crumble. Okay. Now, what's happened is we had the promise of a foundation. In 1913, we had the promise of a foundation. The U.S. government promised the world when the U.S. dollar became the world reserve currency. The U.S. government promised the world, yes, we will value our dollar based on gold. Gold is going to be the foundation. And so our paper that we're now handing out, these notes, these promissory notes, really are just so you don't have to carry gold around in your pocket or in bags as you walk around this world. that you have a worthless piece of paper, but it represents something of real value. And as long as you have that paper, you've got it's as good as the real thing. The problem is, during the Nixon days, the U.S. government reneged on that promise. So the foundation was collapsed at that moment, and the U.S. dollar, the world reserve currency, was now based upon the U.S. military might and its ability to protect the oil fields of OPEC nations. U.S. government made an agreement with OPEC oil-producing nations, said, hey, listen, we will protect your oil fields with our military might. You simply have to agree not to sell your oil in any other currency other than the U.S. dollar. In other words, now, from that moment up until the present time, the U.S. dollar was, its foundation is oil. And the OPEC nations' willingness to sell it exclusively, sell their oil in U.S. banknotes. So that means the worth of the dollar, the foundation of the dollar, was contingent upon that relationship. Well, now what we've been doing since then has been, the U.S. government has been on its little printing press called the U.S. Mint, has been printing dollar after dollar after dollar after dollar after dollar, trillions of dollars, ever since the time of Nixon, trillions. And the most money that's ever been printed has been printed in the last 8 years, okay? That's an interesting statement there, Chemo. But now, after the U.S. government has debased the dollar, devalued the dollar, the government that backs the dollar is now being undermined. The government that represents a people, right? The United States of America, is now, its stability is being undermined by the debt that we have. The U.S. dollars is simply debt. It's debt. Okay, it's and so the dollar's losing its value right now. The DXY, the dollar index, is plummeting right now. Why? Because its value, its buying power, it's losing credibility worldwide. But it's not just the dollar, because the dollar is the foundation. The dollar is the foundation of every other currency in the world. In other words, we've had a worldwide Ponzi scheme. It's a global event. And the U.S. has been the foundation of that Ponzi scheme, okay? So now we have a monetary system, an economic system, where there's buying and selling based of real goods and services that have real value, goods and services that have real value. Those goods and services have been bought and paid for by worthless things. And the only reason why the U.S. dollar has any real value is because people believe it has value. But what's happening is that belief, year after year, is eroding, and it's coming to a climax. World governments no longer believe in it. Therefore, they want to escape the dollar. But they also have to escape their own currency because their own currency is worthless. So at the entire, it's kind of like, listen, if the U.S. dollar is undermined, it's a house of cards. If the bottom card is undermined, okay, the entire system is going to fail. So that means the worldwide ability to buy and sell goods and services, which is what drives an economy, the exchange of goods and services, okay, for money, for things of value. Gold and silver is what money used to be. Well, basically, that no longer is going to, it's all going to fail. So your ability, my ability to buy and sell goods and services is now being undermined because the value of the dollar is it's eroding year, and eventually there's going to be a collapse point. It's kind of like the house of cards. Slowly, like in slow motion, the bottom card is just sliding out from underneath the entire house. And eventually it's going to collapse, and it's going to bring a downfall to the entire economic system. And that is the plan. because the people running the show have been doing that on purpose, but they've had to set it up so that they could generate wealth in an economy that's trading a worthless piece of paper, but they've been generating wealth by it, right? Why do you think gold is going up, shooting up right now? And why do you think the dollar is going down? See, I said this last week, and I'll say it again. Usually, up until this point, when the S&P goes up, when markets go up, okay, that means it's risk on. That's what we call risk on. When the risk is on, okay, that means time to take a risk, time to get out of the dollar, because the dollar will go down. So we'll say markets with an M, D for dollar. We'll put a D for dollar. The dollar goes down when markets go up. Okay? When the dollar's getting stronger, it's time to get out of the market and move to the dollar. That's called risk off. We're going to go to something stable. In other words, the stable coin of markets has been up to this point. We get out of the market and into a stable coin. What's the stable coin? The US dollar. That's been the pattern up to this point. No longer, we don't have that pattern anymore, guys. The pattern has been broken. What's happening right now? Markets are going down. But you know what else is going down? The dollar is going down. You say, okay, well, how do markets go down, guys? How do markets go down? There's massive selling happening. Okay? There's massive selling. Okay, if they're selling stocks, okay, well, what are they selling it for? Well, it should be going into the dollar. That means stocks are being exchanged for dollars. That means dollars are being bought, so to speak. We're exchanging stocks for dollars. That's usually the way it happens, right? So that means when the market is going down, dollar is strengthening. In other words, people are moving out of market into stock. Well, that's not happening. The dollar isn't strengthening, it's weakening. The markets are weakening and the dollar is weakening. So where's the money going, guys? Where's the money going? Well, look at Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin strong right now? Is all the money moving into Bitcoin right now? Is that the market that's moving up? No, because that's in the middle of a sell-off too. So now let's put crypto. We're going to put crypto here. Crypto's going down too. So you've got the markets going down, you've got the dollar going down, you've got crypto going down. Everything's going down. What is going up? I'm going to show you a chart that's going up. Are you ready? Here it is. Oh, there it is. There's the asset that's going up. And it's not just going up, it's beginning to move up parabolically. What does that mean? The sell-off has begun, guys. It's happening. Doesn't mean we can't have times of correction. We can. Doesn't mean gold can't go back down to $2,500. Doesn't mean it will either. I'm just simply saying gold is shooting up. So you have markets going, all the markets are going down, all of them. And you have gold going up. What's that saying? Where's the money moving into? Money is moving out of markets, out of risk. And it's not going into fiat currency because that's too risky too. So the people with money, the drivers of the market, by the way, that's not you and me, the retail buyers, that's exactly my point, Kimosabi. I mean, you're highlighting my points perfectly. Thank you. Keep on. So the retail buyers don't drive the market. Don't think Joe Schmo down the street and you and the retail buyers are moving the markets. We ain't moving nothing. We're riding the waves. The market is being moved and driven by the banks and people with real money. And what are people with real money doing? People with real money are buying gold. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. I wish they were buying silver. Silver's going up, but not the way gold is. I think silver is going to lag and start following gold, but we haven't seen the major push of silver yet. I think it's coming. That's my opinion. I'm a big silver believer. But I don't know if that's the best investment. I'm not here to give you investment advice. I'm just like, I love silver and I believe in silver. Silver is anyway, I don't have to go into reasons why. You can watch videos about that and whatnot. But anyway, the point is, I think silver's lagging, but it will follow gold. But why is the money being moved out of the markets by the big boys? While everybody else is saying this is just the dip, stay calm. You know what they were saying on the Titanic too? Hey, everybody stay calm. We're in a strong ship. Stay calm. Yeah. Stay calm while everybody else is getting on the boat. You stay calm and stay on the boat. I'm going to get on the lifeboat here because this thing's going down. And it is. It's in my belief, I believe we are on the precipice of it major crash. Okay, now that crash is going to be followed by times of bounce. I don't think it's going to go straight down forever. Okay, it's going to go down in stages because that's generally the way markets move. We are currently in stage 1 of that crash. I expect a rebound, a dead cat bounce, whatever you want to call it, a B wave, an X wave, whatever you want to call it, a correction. I expect those corrections. And I expect them to get everybody bullish again. I expect the corrections to be of the nature that will get everybody hopeful again, that the markets are moving back up and everybody risk is back on. Here we go. Because it's going to be accompanied by news and such, and everybody's going to be excited. Only to give another round of selling by the big boys. Because the fact that gold is pumping up. Now, why does all this have to happen? Now, all this has to happen because the big boys want to move their wealth. So here's the way it works, okay? The big boys have money. Right now, the money is in markets, okay? So they've been going back and forth from the dollar. They've been putting their money in markets, making money, putting it in the dollar, putting it back in markets, in the dollar, back and forth. But now they're taking their money out of markets, out of the dollar, and now they're putting it in gold. All the money is moving to gold. So that means the gold market is pumping, right? Because all that money that was in the market is being moved to gold, okay? But that gold is going to pump. And guess who's going to be buying the top? Guess who's starting to buy now? You see, all the big boys, they already did the buying. Okay, they already did the buying at the low price. Why do you think gold stood around for 20 years at the levels it was staying, and now it's pumping? Because, well, they're ready for the time is now. Okay, so we're in the beginning stages of the crisis that is coming. The gold boom that's happening is predicting, as Chemo says, the crisis that's coming. It's letting you know that the big boys have a plan, and the plan is to tank the dollar. Okay, so the money's moving into gold, and that's a process, and gold. And so now what's going to happen to this market? It's not going to happen overnight. Gold is going to pump and keep pumping, and it's going to go parabolic. I don't know where it's going. I was doing my best guess here on the chart. I'd say $6,000 is, $6,000 to $8,000 is going to be an easy, but I think it's going to go higher than that. But nonetheless, in the next 10 years, gold is going to skyrocket. It's not going to go straight up tomorrow. It takes time, okay? It takes time. So, I think all the money's moving to gold, and we're seeing the parabolic rise of gold here. And it's going to be death to the dollar in the same process. When this wave finally finishes its wave, okay, whenever it's done, wherever it's finished, okay, that's the way waves move right there. That's the way waves move. Somebody was asking me in my Discord, do you think gold's done? Look, there's 5 waves. No, gold's just getting started, in my opinion. Yes, there's going to be a correction. The thing is, I don't know, Chemo, if it's going to happen as fast as you think. It could, but we could see a bit of a correction. Okay, that could take years. A wave like that could take years for it to play, and then you see another even more parabolic rise at the end of the decade. That happens. That takes a year or two, right? So we could have a 2 to 3 year correction, and then another parabolic rise. 2033 to 2035, I think, are going to be key times for the end of gold. So in other words, this economic crisis is not going to be done overnight, and it's going to bring on a time of depression, a time of hardship, and that hardship has to come to a climax. Okay, I know everybody's looking for this thing to end overnight. I just don't think it's going to happen. It has to bring hardship to the people, so that the people are crying for a solution. Okay, and the solution that the governments of the world are going to offer you are most likely going to be central bank digital currencies. This is digital currency that is owned and run by the central banks. They're going to set you up with digital wallets. All this is the beginning stages. They're ready to start rolling this out, but they're not ready for mass adoption because the people aren't crying for it yet. They're trying to set the stage. Trump is trying to set the stage for it, and I believe his job is to set the stage for it over the next 4 years. But he's going to take, in my opinion, he's going to take the fall. He's going to be the fall guy. He's going to set the stage for the digital for the digital currency to be set up. And he's going to be the fall guy for the markets potentially. But he's going to probably come in with the solution of digital, and he's going to offer it to the people just like he did COVID. Like, hey, COVID came. Things were great economically. COVID came. It went down. He couldn't handle it. He says, oh, I got the solution. And he pumped out this solution. Of course, to the detriment of the people, right? I think that was just the foreshadowing of the economic crisis that's coming during his time. So this is the way I see. This is the way I think the global economic geopolitical landscape is being set for a crash like that. And if you are putting all your hope into gold, into crypto, thinking, yes, crypto is where I need to move my money. I need to be buying crypto right now so that I can protect your wealth. I'm letting you know that that's, in my opinion, it's not wise, because crypto isn't stable. Yes, we've seen a rise of Bitcoin. Yes, we've seen that rise, right? We've seen it go up to 100K, right? And I know now the narrative is 200K. Well, the first narrative, we got to get over the speed bump of 150, but 200K to 250 is no problem for crypto. That's coming. That's the narrative. Okay. I imagine it could be. If crypto wants to go parabolic here, I imagine crypto can go parabolic, and I think that's what everybody's expecting. But that means, in order for this to happen, that means the big boys have to start moving their money into Bitcoin. That means the big boys have to start buying Bitcoin like crazy right now and pumping Bitcoin up. They have to pump. Well, if they're going to buy Bitcoin, they have to have sellers. Well, if the masses like you and me are buying Bitcoin too, we're like, oh yeah, we're buying Bitcoin right here. Yeah, we're buying because this is going up. If the narrative is we're going up to 200K and you're buying Bitcoin at this pullback, right? You're buying, oh, this is just a pullback. Now's the time to buy the dip, baby. Buy the dip, right? If that's the narrative and you want to buy here, and you're saying the big boys are coming in and they want to move their money to crypto so that they can pump the market cap of crypto up, well, who's going to be selling? Who's going to sell to them? The markets don't move like that, guys. Markets can't move like that. And it bothers me. I'm preaching now, but it bothers me, the idiocy of the people that think markets move like that. It just doesn't make any sense. Guys, this is the most rational TA you're going to get. I'm trying to teach you economics and how the world really works. Okay, guys? And Bitcoin, in my opinion, crypto is not going to pump. The big boys are not buying here. They're not going to buy at all-time highs. That's not what they do. They sell at all-time highs. And they drive the markets down to a reasonable level to rebuy again. But they have to do it in such a way that you want to sell. What was everybody preaching and everybody saying when Bitcoin hit 220K? What was everybody saying? Everybody was looking for 210. I had people in my Discord. I was like, now's the time to buy. Now's the time to buy. And I had a particular person that was looking to me like, yeah, he says, oh yeah, I think I'm going to wait and buy at 2,000, when it hits 10,000 or when it hits 8,000. I'm going to wait and buy then. I'm like, okay. But I gave 3 buy signals to that particular person. And he just kept thinking it's going to go down, it's going to go down. And that's the way most people trade. That's the way most people trade. They sell when they should be buying, and they buy when they should be selling. And guys, I'm just saying we're at all-time highs. And if you've held your Bitcoin from the bottom all the way to the top, and you're still holding because you're still holding it because you think $250,000 is coming. I think eventually $250,000 is going to come. I think that target is coming, but it's coming in a way that you won't expect. Now, I do have some counts. We're going to get into the counts, but I'm just trying to help you understand where we are geopolitically. Okay. Right now, we're a little bit of a bearish sentiment. So what has to happen? Okay. What has to happen? We need a whipsaw. So the market right now, what I'm expecting is a whipsaw. What's a whipsaw? Well, the market's going down, right? And we get these relief rallies, right? We got a relief rally right here. Ooh, we came back down to resistance and then shot back down. Boom. We got a relief rally. Boom. Now we're coming back up. Oh, now's the time to go. What I think is going to happen is we're going to get another hit to the low. Boom. It's like every time they bring it back up so they can take it back down. And I know how I feel when I'm trading on the small time frame when they do that stuff. Okay? I know how I feel when they do that. Like you say, oh, this is a good buy zone. We got a bit of a rally. You buy in here. They take it up. You're feeling good. Then they wreck you. Oh, crap. And then they bring it up, back up to your position. Oh, maybe it's good. No, it goes down. Boom. Oh, we're back up to your position. What do? Come back down. Boom. See, I know how that feels in the waves, and that's the way they do it. They bring it back down till you're finally like, boom, low. Oh, it's going back down again. And it usually takes 3 hits to the low. Boom, boom, boom. And that third hit, for some reason, you're like, okay, forget it. I'm out. And you sell, and then all of a sudden it goes. And I think what I just drew for you is what I think is going to happen. I think this wave has a little bit more in it to go to the upside, maybe. And then down we go. Take out these lows, and then up we go for a relief rally. Why? So that they can get people selling when they shouldn't sell, so they can buy, temporary buy, make some money, so that when everybody gets bullish again, they can sell into the buyers. When the world is buying again, they can sell into those buyers. And that's why the market moves in the waves that it does. That's why the market moves in waves. That's why. And once you understand that's how the market moves, then you have to get in its rhythm. You have to learn to get in the market's rhythm. When it's going down here, yes, buy the dip, but you got to know what dip to buy. And you got to be able to trade it, and you got to have rules to trade it, because if you bought this dip, that was fine. You made money if you took profit. But if all you ever do is buy the dip, but you never take your profit, you never learn how to take profit when you're trading, then you're not a trader, you're just a buyer. And then you just ride the roller coaster forever, okay? Because, what if you bought this dip? What if you bought this dip right? And it goes down, and you hold it, and you're like, I'm holding it. And it goes down here, and you're holding it. Well, it's going down, and then it comes up. You're like, woo, it's going my way now, baby. It's going my way now. Well, when do you sell it, man? Oh, when it gets to 200K? What if it does that? When are you going to sell it? In other words, you have to learn to be a trader, guys. And I believe the way to invest in crypto is to trade it, to buy and sell it. And that's why I do what I do. I'm not an investor in crypto. I'm a trader. I have a trader mindset. That's the way I approach this market. I want to get in and out of the market and make money within the market. I want to make some money on a wave. I don't make every dime I can make on a wave. I want to make some money on this wave. I want to make some money on that next wave. And I want to just keep making money as I go. And I want to protect my assets. So I move in and out, in and out, in and out. Now, do I make every dime I could make? I make what I can make. I make what I need. And that's the way I trade. All right. I've spoken now for 45 minutes explaining economics to you and how the market moves. And this is one reason. And now I'm going to show you the wave structure that I think is supporting what the geopolitical landscape here. Okay. All right. So with that said, let me take a little drink. How are you guys doing? Who's still listening? Are you guys hanging on the edge of your seat? Are you bored as you can be? Let me know in the comments, and let's get that chat livened up a little bit. I'm gonna now work on the wave structure analysis. I'm gonna give you a quick wave structure analysis, and then we're gonna go from there. There's 52 of you watching, and it must be somewhat interesting because we've increased in the listenership. Oh man, my throat is dry. It amazes me, though. I'll just say this. My comment will be, it amazes me how many people do not believe what I just shared. Just now. Now, I can't say that I know the time. Good to hear that, Ricky. Thanks for bringing some people. I'd love to know who that is. And check out Ricky Spanish's channel, guys. That's one of my buddies and my friends in the Discord, and he just created a channel. Has been growing it. Make sure you check his channel out as well. Give him some love, and he's got something to add to the world. He's creating some indicators as well to try to help him with his the way he looks at the market. So and of course, the way he looks at the market is the way I look at the market, because we look at the market the same way. But he's got other perspectives that I don't that maybe I don't have for sure, and he's got something to add to the space. So definitely check out his channel as well. So anyway, as far as timing of everything, guys, I don't know how exactly it's going to go down, but I think we're in a bear market. So here's what I think. I think right now we're in a bearish sentiment, so there needs to be a pullback. But I think that pullback is going to be in the form of a hit to the low. Oops, sorry. A hit to the low, and we're going to hit these lower targets. We're going to take out. We took it out once. We had it made a low, took it out once, hit it again. I think we're going to hit it a third time. Okay. And then I think we're going to get whipsawed to the upside. Boom. And I think that's just going to be what we call in the Elliott world a flat. And the way I'm seeing that right now, I'm not exactly certain how this is going to play. I can't predict it with any certainty, and just offer this main idea, right? Does this mean sell right now? No, it doesn't mean sell right now. It just means that I think we are going to be going down. We could hit the high again, right? But I think we're heading down again. And the way I'm seeing this wave is as a big WXY, where this is the W wave to here, and this is a flat X wave. Then I'm going to be looking for a Y wave of like, it's going to be similar in shape. So we're going to come down something like that. And that wave that I just drew for you is going to be the first wave of the multi-year bear market. I think May 7th is a very plausible day. JQ. That's very plausible. In fact, what I just drew for you is like, yeah, around the first week in May. Yep. Totally plausible. I like it. So I do think we're going down. Are we going down this week? No, I don't think so. In fact, we're probably going to play around here for a bit. This could be a flat. And then we come down for 3 waves. And it could be towards the end of May. It just depends on how this wants to go down. I can only offer ideas for the wave structure that come, but I can't tell you exactly how it's going to play. I just can offer, I know the wave count, the wave count needs to be by the end of the day, if I'm correct. So if my understanding of the market is correct, there's 3 there. This is going to be 3 when it's finished. Then I'm looking for 3. That's the wave count. That's what I believe it should be. Okay. So that's what I think is happening. And I think this is going to be basically a big flat. So I see the market revisiting 100K. I believe that that's likely. Is it certain that it's going to hit 100K? No, nothing's certain. 97K is the first target. But if we get up there, I don't see why we don't take the liquidity of this zone 101, 102 at the 786. I don't think we're going to go higher than that. I think we're going to take the liquidity at 101, 102 range eventually. Okay. We're going to pump. We pump into July or August. And then we're going to begin dumping again for the last half of the year. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I just drew for you is my basic roadmap for what I think this wave is going to do at some level. There's no way for me to predict with any certainty that what I've just drawn for you is accurate. But it's what I believe. And it is probable and plausible. Well, no, it's plausible based upon the way Bitcoin likes to move. It's also plausible based on global economic and geopolitical news events. Okay, that we should be moving into a bit of a bullish time in the market. We got bullish news coming. So bullish news has been happening. We got a big announcement tomorrow as far as the tariffs are concerned. Okay. And so I think probably we're going to get a bullish move up with a dump that follows it. Okay. And that dump will take out lows, and then we'll get a V-shaped recovery that takes us into a bullish summer. Okay. But that preps us for the last half of the year, which September and October are notoriously bearish for markets. And so I think there's a potential for the markets to be super bearish towards the end of this year. Seeing a potential recovery beginning to happen into next year. So that's the way I see the market, guys. That's my overall perspective right there. That's my number one count. That is a bearish count, but it has bullish aspects to it. And this wave right here is going to be tricky because everybody's going to believe the market is now moving up and going up, and it's going to mess a lot of people up. Okay? I think that wave is going to mess a lot of people up. Now, here's the thing. Let me talk about some other scenarios here. It is possible. Okay, it is possible that we are currently in that wave already. I'm not a huge fan of it, But that right there, what I just drew, is also possible. In other words, the W ends here. Or actually, no, sorry. The W ends in the same place, right here. This is the X wave there, and then we get the Y wave. In other words, we're actually pumping. That doesn't mean we won't get pullbacks. We can get pullbacks, but it's going to go pretty fast and quick and come up and take out liquidity up here at 100K. All right? That's a possibility as well. So the way we'd count that is that this would be A, and then that's B, and that is your X wave right there, or the B wave. And now we're in the middle of C. We're in the beginning stages of the C wave. Okay. Now that is possible. We might already be in that count. And the tricky part of that wave is that what we did is we the market front ran the target. The target zone. Okay. I mean, it hit 74. It hit the 786, right? But if it depends on the chart that I'm on and if I started exactly, it front ran the 786. I mean, barely tagged it, the 786 retrace. I was looking for the 1-to-1. I was looking for 70K and with a wick down to 68. That was my ideal. That was my ideal location right there, and we just didn't get down to target, and then it just been kind of a choppy mess up to this point, but we've had a choppy mess. And going, so we could already be in the C wave of that, in which case we're heading to 102K. Now, I'm not here to tell you which count is right. I don't know. I don't know which count is right. I don't know, but this is another variation of the same wave count. That we've already had 3 waves. Boom. We're in the middle of the second 3 waves, and then we're going to get 3 waves down after that. So it's the same overall shape. The difference in the counts is the B wave and how long, and that's what makes trading Elliott hard, is that we don't know how the waves are going to develop. That means you have to have something else other than Elliott wave, okay? To trade with. You have to have another strategy other than just predicting what waves might do. Okay, you have to have another way of looking at the market so that you can enter and exit your trades. Elliott wave is a good analysis tool, and it helps you kind of understand and have the right mentality for trading. But you have to have more than Elliott to trade. So I'm not here telling you Elliott's the end of what I know and what I do in the market. In fact, I use Elliott for my analysis, right? But it's not how I trade. I don't trade necessarily. I don't enter and exit trades based on an Elliott wave prediction, okay? That's not the way I trade. I do trade ideas of Elliott. I look at the waves and like, okay, yeah, I see that, but I enter waves on a different basis. Okay. If you want to know about that strategy, come into the Discord. I've got an educational setup. You can understand what other things I look at in order to enter and exit trades. Okay. All right. With that said, 3 down. So this is a connector. And I think this could be 3 down like that. That's another way of looking at it. Boom, boom, boom. Connector. Boom. Oh, sorry. And then this is just a little bit bigger. Boom, boom, boom. And then that would give us the whipsaw and come down here and then come up. So that's another variation of the same count. So what you're seeing is that I have 3 variations of this wave, and I don't know which one's going to play. But those are some ideas to think about. Now, what is the bullish scenario? One of the things I try to do is no matter what I believe the market is going to do, which I just told you what I believe, okay? But that doesn't mean the market is going to do what I believe. In other words, one of the things I've learned over the time, no matter how hard I believe something, that doesn't mean I'm correct in what I believe. It doesn't mean that what I think is going to happen is going to happen. So I have to be ready for something else to happen. That means I need to make myself, and you need to do this as well, You need to make yourself look at the market from the other perspective. That means I need to look at it from a bullish perspective and say, okay, what else could this be if it's bullish? Okay. So another scenario that could be playing out is that we actually have an extended fifth wave in which this is a wave 4. And now we're in the beginning stages, or we need to maybe one more head to the low, and then we're in the beginning stages of an extended fifth, in which case we get that pump to 150K that like I've been talking about. In other words, this wave right here is a wave 4 of this wave. 1, 2, this is 3. We can count 3 up to here. This is wave 4. And then we get a wave 5. Okay, that's a very bullish outlook. That means we go straight up, kind of a correction straight up from here. Boom. And we pump, only to V-shape back down after that's done. Then pull back, and then we get that 3-wave move that I was telling you about. But we go up to higher targets first. So that's the bullish hope. That's the hopium for the bulls. That's what the bulls are looking for. That's what the bulls want to see. Okay? And could that play out? Absolutely, it could play out. It totally could. In this case, you had a wave 4 right here. See that wave? And then you had a wave 5 that just took the top out. This could be a wave 4. You could get an extended wave that goes up, or you get a wave that takes the top out and then it goes down. The problem is in this wave right here, that wasn't a wave 4 to the proper degree. So this was a wave 4 of the proper degree for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the wave 4 of the proper degree was this wave. So it made sense that this went up and took the high. The problem with calling this a wave 4 is you already have a wave 4 of the proper degree. You've got the proper extension, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything is symmetrical. It is proportional. You have the proper degrees. Everything looks good. You have also hit the major trend line. Okay? This is an argument also for the bulls. Okay? We're going to draw the trend line on the top of wave 5 right there. Top of wave 1, top of wave 5. Okay, we've hit the major trend line. Okay? But that's another argument for the bulls, because a lot of times it'll hit trend lines, bounce, and then take out the top. Okay? It's what we call an overthrow. Okay? So a push up to 145, which has been my target for a long time, is possible for the bulls. That's a count that would throw guys like me off. Boom. I'm right in the sense that we're at the top, except we just need that one more wave, and then we get the 3-wave move that I'm looking for. Okay? Now, with that said, I am bullish right now in the short term. That doesn't mean tomorrow. It means I think we're going to revisit 100K. I don't know how we're going to do it. I've offered some ideas on how we might get back up to 100K. But that wave, what we have to understand is that wave could continue. Instead of this being a flat that that stops and then turns around, we could be at the end of, we could hit the low one more time. This could be in some kind of an ending diag, right? And then it could go. It hits the low and then V-shapes and goes. But we don't have to hit the low. I would like to. I think it's better. It's more better. I think it's better if it does. I think it makes more sense that it does. And then we get our blow off top, and then the volume that we look for the volume to flood in on Bitcoin. Okay. So yeah, I think that there's the bullish count, and that's the bullish hope. I think it's much more likely if we get a hit to the low for a V shape. I think that's the area for the buy. I think that's the best buy zone. okay? And then you hold it and see if it's going to go. It could go. It could go for you, right? To buy here is a little bit dangerous. Why? Because it's already kind of come up. You're not, I mean, where's your stop? It's down. I mean, where are you going to put your stop if you buy here for any long-term move? It's hard to buy here with any kind of confidence. If you were going to buy, you should have bought basically when this rebounded and retested in 3 waves and started moving up. That was your best buy zone here with a stop at the low. But now it's been pumping. What do you do? Well, I mean, we're not in a great place. We do have a pullback. It's not a horrible buy zone on this pullback to see if it goes, but it may just pop and then come back down. So I think on small time frame analysis here, it's possible that this wave simply is an A, B, and a C wave in which you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, and then it comes down. Okay, in which case you could have a W, X, Y, or an ABC if it's some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which it could already be done, and it won't hit the high again, and it's getting ready to come down in 3 waves to hit the low. I think the way it's going to hit that low is be something like this. If it's going to hit that low, it's going to come down, give a fake bounce, and then come down and hit the low, and then go. Keep everybody guessing, right? So that's kind of what I think. I'm a little bullish. I think we have a chance of popping here. There's a chance, but you got to watch out that it's not just a pop and a pump and a dump, okay? So I can't tell you if this is a trade you ought to take. I personally took a long in this. I had the long from here. I took profit at the revisit of the top here. It went on. That's fine with me. I have now re-entered long, but that doesn't mean I like this. Then I'm going to hold it forever because I'm ready for a move to the downside and to cut my long. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this wave structure because this is it's kind of I watch out for this on small time frame. This could be, come on, there we go. This could be A, B, and now C. In which case, you just get one more little pump to the high, and then we start going down. Okay, so watch out for something like that. A pump and a dump. Or we start pumping and it kind of goes up, finishes, and then dumps. So you got to watch out for that as well. So we could front run the top of this and come down. Or we could come hit the high and come down. Or we could break out, revisit the top, and work our way up, right? So that's the way waves move. I have no way of knowing how this wave is going to play. I've offered some higher time frame ideas. Okay. And I don't know is the answer. All right. How are we doing? Tuck Finn. I don't think it has to go to 50K immediately. If we lose 71, it's not a problem. It's not a problem for it to bounce back up to 100K first before it goes to hit that 50K target. In fact, just look at the wave. It's totally from as far as wave structure standpoint. Now, again, I'm an Elliott waver, and I understand how waves like to move. Okay, so it would be absolutely if we lose 71 and get down to 68, it would be no problem to shoot right back up very fast, take that level, and then come down to your 50K target. Okay, and that would be 335 or something like that. So, definitive up or down here. I'm biased to the downside. That is my bias. I think we're going to more than likely we're going to pop, dump. I don't know that we're going to go straight down. I think probably we're going to go down in 3 waves like that. That's what I would expect. Somewhere around 68, and then revisit that area after that. That's my final answer as far as what, if you were to ask me to make a bet as to what might happen, that's what I would bet on. Now, that said, that doesn't mean that's exactly what I'm trading. We're more nimble with that. Okay, so I'm not giving you any kind of trade calls here. The way I trade, I'm much more nimble than that, and I juke and jive with the market. Okay, so even though I'm bearish sometimes on a macro level, it doesn't mean I'm not bullish. Like right now, I'm long, but I gotta see a wave structure though that supports. I gotta see this move up and out of here, and if it doesn't, because this little pullback here, it's given me some weakening signs here of downside, which I have an ultimate count that takes us down. So I don't love the long, and so I'm not married to that long. Okay, we have a break of the wave structure here. What I would just like to see is a revisit of this breakout right here in the RSI and the RSI structure here, so that it creates divergence. Okay, so it gives us a pop to the upside, but a lower high, and then it breaks back down on the 4 hour, something like that. That's what would confirm what I'm looking for. Any kind of pullback, I would take that short for the last wave to the downside. Okay, so on a 4 hour basis, I would look for a dump down to the 618 retrace of this move, somewhere around the 50 or 60% retrace of that move, and then look for a bounce that is 3 waves in shape, and then look for a short entry after that on the 4 hour chart. That's the overall way I would trade it on the 4 hour. Okay, I would look for a high being set, a volume to come in to show that it's a high, divergence on the RSI on the 4 hour. I would look for a short. I would not play this wave all the way down, though you could. I would look to take profit once it hits the 50% retrace of that wave. I would look for profit. 618 would be the 618 retrace would be a nice area to take profit as well. I would look for a temporary scalpy long here. Look for another wave down. That's an ideal world. That would be my major trading idea on a 4 hour chart. So there's a trading idea for you. That doesn't mean that's going to play. And I'm here to tell you that may not play. But I like the idea, and I think it's worthy of watching out for. See what happens on the 4 hour chart. Okay? All right, there it is. Because really, don't forget, I offered a scenario that takes this wave just choppy into the upside, just kind of keeps going. Which one's going to play? I don't know. I don't know. But if you made me bet, that's kind of the way I'm thinking about it. Okay. All right, let's take a peek at XRP and Ethereum just as some correlation analysis here. I'll look at gold and silver. I'll look at the S&P and the NASDAQ as well. And the DXY. We'll just kind of start perusing all the charts. You go ahead and put your requests in, and the last 45 minutes, we will just take your request for any chart you want me to look at. I'll look at stocks. I'll look at any particular chart you want me to look at, and also I will, and I'll look at the overall market, and we'll just kind of finish up. But I'll just do quick analysis, very quick. I just fly through them. To do the correlation analysis, see where things might be going. So we're going to look at XRP first, then we'll look at Ethereum. I will look at Link because my buddy Keith is watching or listening, and he always loves Link. And I think somebody else at the beginning of the live stream asked for Link as well. Who asked for Link? It was Danton. So Danton, I got you covered, buddy. So we'll look at Link as well. All right. So with that said, looking at XRP, I think XRP has a nice 5-wave structure here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks finished. You've got basically what I see here is a W We got an X wave. Now, is the Y wave finished? It is totally possible here, guys, that the Y wave finished. The thing I don't like about the Y wave being finished is, and actually it could be an ABC instead of a WXY. It could be an ABC, right? Because this could be 5 waves there. Instead of 3 waves, it could be 5. It could be a diag. Okay, so this could be 3 waves to the upside. Now looking for 5 waves to the downside. So the way you count that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. And then we're gonna once that goes down, we're looking for a bit of a dead cat bounce here. We're looking for it to kind of go V shape, kind of go up, but it's not going to go up with Bitcoin. So if it's not going to go up like Bitcoin, it's going to go up more choppy, and it's going to recover, but more than likely it's going to begin coming back down. Okay, so that's kind of the wave structure I would expect. So I'm kind of looking for that to go down. So let's try to look at it a different way, though. That's my primary way I'm looking at it. But I could be wrong with that way of looking at it. It could be incorrect. So let's try to look at it a different way. What if Bitcoin is actually going up now? Okay. What if Bitcoin is going up now? That we're getting that flat that I talked about, and we're going up to 100K now instead of hitting the low first and then going down. That could be said for XRP as well, where you get this, where this is just a big flat, but revisits the high and then comes down again. Okay, so in other words, this becomes 3 waves. This pumps, takes out this level like Bitcoin does, revisits the high at $3, and then tanks again. That's a scenario that could play as well. So we could see a pumpy XRP as well, right? So that's the bullish scenario. So the question is, does this break? So if I see on the 4-hour chart, yeah, I'll cover LTC for you, Mo. If this breaks to the downside and pulls back, I'm looking for more down. Okay, but if this can hold here, pull back to it and hold and kind of keep pumping, then that's a little bit more bullish, right? So, and now it's not going to go forever, right? But if this trend line can hold and it pumps up and out of here, then we could see $3 again. All right. All right, so that's XRP. That's the way I'm thinking about it. I think XRP has finished its move. I don't think it's going to continue going. This breakout here, this is a single print. The price action needs to come back down here. Okay, let me get on a different XRP chart to show you. There we go. So yeah, you see that straight up shot? Whenever XRP does that, it comes all the way back down. So 80 cents is very likely for this to come back down to, and lower, more than likely. The overall count for XRP, the way I'm looking at it, is a big WXY or an ABC, where this was the A wave, this was the B wave, and now I'm looking for C. That's a potential way to look at it. I could be wrong. Could XRP pump up and out of here? You better believe it could, because, I could be wrong, right? So I just always want to say that out loud, that while I have these ideas and I'm sharing these ideas and what I believe, you have to be ready for YouTubers to be wrong, right? Don't bet your life on what I'm saying. Just take it and weigh it, do your own research, and make your own decisions. What is glaringly missing from the XRP chart, which could be an argument against what I'm saying, is volume. We don't have the volume that we usually have. See that volume right there? We don't have the volume we usually have for tops. We're missing volume. So we've got a pump on no volume here. Boy, there was a lot of volume here. That was a lot. Comparatively, look at all this volume, pretty consistent. But look at no volume here. So that's concerning to me. We pumped on no volume. And we haven't really seen, I mean, we did get a little bit of a volume peak here, but we haven't seen any major peaks in volume. So that's an argument that says we need another pump. We need one more pump to the upside. So if we get a hit to the low and then a pump, we could see that volume coming in for a final a top. Or if XRP really starts going and volume comes in, well, it could just prove me completely wrong in the way I'm looking at this wave. In other words, XRP, this might indeed be a pullback, and we might be ready for $8 XRP. So that's the bullish scenario. Again, we pumped, we broke this level, we pulled back to it. Okay, we could be ready to pump. So is that final pump coming? You know, that's going to get Bitcoin to 150K, get XRP up to $8, $10, whatever. I mean, maybe. I'm not here to say yes or no. I'm here to say this is what I believe and why I believe it. Okay? So that's the bullish look at XRP. I don't know. I don't have the answers. Okay. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum could be telling because Ethereum, I mean, just look at that. That's the monthly chart of Ethereum. One thing about it is that this pullback right there has not taken that low out. But I expect that low to get taken out. Why? Because this looks like a W. That looks like an X wave. And now we need a Y wave. Now, the X wave may not be finished. Okay? So what might happen here if Bitcoin goes down, watch out for this count. Okay, watch out for this scenario. The X wave may come over here and retest the all-time high. So this is very possible and plausible for Ethereum. Okay, let me pull the fibs here. We're very close to target. We haven't hit it yet. We need another hit to the low. Okay, we need another move to the low here. $1,300, $1,200 range. That's the well, actually, it needs to be the $1,200 range. Okay. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, whatever, but eventually, after, we're going to see. It's probably going to happen in May. Okay, that we hit this low target. Okay, probably in May. So this is going to become kind of a doji candle. So I'm kind of short-term bullish, guys. I am short-term bullish. So I don't think we're going straight down. I think we're going to go sideways for a little bit. But I do see us getting down here sometime 1st of May, middle of May. Now, that's going to wick the May candle. And then I see us probably doji candle again for May, and then June and July and August is we could pump back up here if it goes fast. So I don't know if this is going to play or not, but we could see massive movement, maybe a huge month for Ethereum, where this becomes an A, B, C wave, and that is it's part of a A, B, C of X, in which case we then come down for another wave. Now, in order for this to happen, I don't know what it's going to take, because actually what I've just drawn there that's going to take a year to develop. So I don't think that's a likely scenario. It feels more likely. But my problem is my problem with Ethereum. What's difficult about Ethereum is that this was 3 waves. This was 3 waves that took the high. So I'm looking for 5 waves. Okay. So I see a real possibility for a correction here, more low. Okay, so that happens. If that happens, there it is right there. You get a bit of a correction here. Drops in May. Let's not take that. And then let's see Bitcoin go up fast. Okay, and let's see Ethereum come and take this high. Everybody get pumped for Ethereum, and then it goes back down in 3 waves. That's possible. I don't know how likely. Or we hit this low when Bitcoin goes up to, we just get a wave 4, and then we get more dumping happening. And what that wave structure is just basically boom, boom, boom. And then we go. And what that becomes for Ethereum is a big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Ethereum might be the first to pump because DeFi is the new banking token. We know that. So it's got the new banking system is going to be based on Ethereum and DeFi, probably. So that's what wave structure's looking like to me for Ethereum. So I just drew this down to $400, $500. $300 is a plausible target for Ethereum. I know some of you aren't thinking that, but it can happen. Is it going to go straight down there? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to go straight down there. But pulling the fibs, the 786 is at 1,000. The 1-to-1 extension is basically $80. I don't know if that's if it comes up and retests the high like I talked about, then the 1-to-1 extension is more like 600, 500. It just depends on where it stops, right? So it's a more of a plausible target zone. So if that happens on Ethereum, and then we come down, all of a sudden you got ABC for an X, and then boom, $300 to $600 Ethereum is plausible. Are we going to go straight down to those numbers? I don't think so. I think there needs to be bouncy bounce. Getting a good little pump here in Bitcoin and XRP, so that's good. I'm long on XRP, not Bitcoin. But again, guys, I trade small time frame charts here, so understand that. And realize that this could be A, B, and then C. In which case, the C wave is 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're getting 5 right now. This is the 5th wave. Okay. So I've done Ethereum, I've done XRP, kind of looked at those as correlation, and I'll be honest with you, the Ethereum chart is a little baffling to me. It's challenging. because it looks different than all the other charts. But what I do need is 5 waves. I need 5 waves here, and I just don't see 5 waves developed yet. So I'm kind of looking for a pullback and more low, bigger pullback, more low. That right there, what I just drew right there, looks like 5 waves in C. You got 1, 2. Then you'd have 3, 4, and 5. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the look that I'm looking for here. If this is going to be an A, B, and a C. Now, an alternate count here. If I'm wrong, okay, an alternate count is that this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5, and this is a 3-wave pullback, or we get 3 waves, come back down, and then we pump. That we've actually found a bottom, or we're close to a bottom. We're not looking for 5 waves. We have 3 waves, and it's finished, or about finished. And we need to see it start pumping, pull back, and then go. So that's the bullish scenario of Ethereum. That's the bullish scenario. So if this trend line breaks to the upside, if it breaks and a new low is made, that's a wave 4 most likely, and that's a wave 5. That's a good buy zone. That's a buy zone for Ethereum. That's when you want to think about buying it, if you get that scenario. But if it breaks and retests and does not break that low, then that's your buy zone for a pump. Okay, on a 3-wave pullback. Okay, that's when you want to think about buying it. Okay, get a nice little pump in the market. It feels good. Okay, let's see what this is going to do. Is this high going to get broken? If that high gets broken, then we're not looking at this as a 1, 2, but that could be a 1, 2, and this could come down. I'd kind of like to see it come up here. I'd like to see this as a wave 4. That is a wave 4. This is a wave 5, and then come down. But remember, the other count, the bullish count here. Okay. The bullish count is that this could keep going up. Now, is that likely? Is that definitely going to happen? I'm not here to say that. I don't know. Okay. All right. What are the requests here? Let's finish the night with your requests. Chemo, you want to give me a list? Do we have one? Let's do Link, then we'll do LTC, and then I see HBAR in the conversation. Guys, if you simply make a comment without any sentences, make a comment with the chart name, like HBAR/USDT. That becomes real clear. Whatever the chart, and with no words with it. Don't like, would you please do this one, please? That's more to read. Okay, so Andres, don't give me Superverse. Give me the chart name, and that's it. Don't have to say please or thank you or nothing. Just put the chart, so it pops out in the chat. Okay, so do that if you had a request. Do that so Chemo can see the request real quick. Do that now. All right, we're gonna start with Link here. Wow. Link is interesting. The reason Link is interesting, I'm on the weekly chart right now, is because this has a real three-wave-ish look to it. That could be done. Zoom into the daily here. Um, yeah. So Link has this 3-3-3 look to it that I labeled incorrectly. It could either be an ending diag, in which you've got 1, 2, 3. We're in the middle of 4, and then we get 5. So that's the bearish look where we get a little bit bullish right now, just a little, and it rolls over and gives us that final target in May, right? That would be a nice end to this wave, and that looks very, very, that would be a nice A, B, and a C. So the problem with Link is that this wave right here is so three-wave-ish. That looks so three-wave-ish. It looks like 3 waves. I want to see what Bitcoin's doing here in a small time frame. Yeah. So I was looking at Bitcoin as like a A, B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C, and this could be setting up for a downward move here. So watch out for a downward move here. If you're trading small time frame, it could totally pump up again, right? But I'm just saying that that's something to be on the lookout for. That could come here. Watch the break of that trend line right there. If that breaks, that's bearish. On the 1 minute chart, guys, that's a 1 minute concept there. Okay, back to Link. So yeah, the Link chart is really, really interesting because this has a very unmistakable three-wavishness to it. This, however, also has a three-wavishness to it that's begging for correction. So I think some relief is coming to Link, maybe. I think there's a relief rally coming to Link. Okay, but now the really bullish view, here's the real bullish view. If you're really bullish on Link, is that you have a 1, 2, and this is a wave 1. Oh, sorry. This is a wave 1, and this 3 wave right here is a wave 2. So that's a 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we are getting ready to embark on a major pump, and that's a 1, 2, 1, 2, and here we go. Now that's possible there. I mean, that's a way you can interpret the waves, right? That's totally a way that. So that would be correlate with an ETH pump. If we get that ETH pump I was talking about, that would also, So yeah, maybe, right? Maybe. What else could this be? This could be we could simply get a relief rally that's 3 waves and then 3 more waves down, and this is the leading diag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this wave takes years to develop, and maybe in 2027 we begin, start pumping after that. I mean, maybe. And then the real bearish look is that this continues coming down. You get a dead cat bounce and it continues coming down, and Link dies. Link goes to zero. In other words, this was just trash. That was 3 waves. This is 3 waves, and now we're coming down for the last until death. That means there's going to be a crypto winter in which Link is part of the assets that die off. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I'm not here to say that, but I do think a crypto winter is coming in which a lot of the assets will die. They have to be culled. The crypto market has to be consolidated. Can we say it that way? So I think a consolidation is coming. I don't know if Link. You have to do your own research to know. But so those are some wave scenarios, bullish and bearish. I can't tell you how to trade it, what to do, except that if that trend line breaks, then that's bullish until a new low is made. So if that breaks and holds on the weekly, you get a weekly close above that trend line. That's a good start. That's a good start. But it's not certain. Okay. Let's look at LTC. The LTC chart is just absolute trash. This is a confirmed 3-wave move. That's confirmed. Well, I say it's confirmed. I mean, again, okay. So LTC is showing some promise here. So let's talk about it, because the LTC chart has a little bit of some bullishness here. So now what if that's a wave 1 and that's a wave 2? The problem is you can't get a wave 1 out of that. So that's 3 waves. Now my issue is that this is 3 waves, yes. But it didn't take the low out. And now this kind of looks like 3 waves. It kind of looks like it wants to do this, right? So if Bitcoin is about to pump really fast up to the upside, you might see LTC do that trick with Ethereum. But looking at this chart, it just doesn't make any sense on the macro. But on the micro, on the small time frame, 3, 3, 3, 5. Yeah, so you got a nice A. There's B, looking for C. And I don't think C is finished. I don't think C is done. 1, 2. I think this is wave 3. We're in the middle of 4. 5. So I think we're in wave 4. So again, that puts us down the low. So we're still bullish. We're still bullish temporarily. It's going to be choppy though. It's going to be a chop monster potentially. Right? Who knows what shape it's going to make? Something like that for a wave 4, and then down, and then we go up. Yeah, that looks really good. That looks great. And that correlates with what I'm looking at in a Bitcoin. That we get a bit of chop right now, just tentatively bullish, right? With another hit to the low. Same with XRP. But we get this pump after that. I like it. That's decent. We'll see if we get it. Okay, there's LTC. Hope that it helped you. Okay, H bar. Let's look at H bar here. Weekly chart. What's up, Steven? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so H bar has a really nice three wave shape rocking here, but it's not finished. It was. It's not. It's not. At least it's. I don't think it's finished. Ooh, I see another count for H bar though. What if that's A, B, and C, and that is 5 waves? What if this is A, B, C? Okay, 1, 2. And what if we're now in A, we're in the middle of B, and we get C? Becomes a double correction. There's W, there's X, there's Y. Ooh. Interesting. So, again, it's the same count as LTC. It's choppy up, 3 waves chop, and then down again. That's the way that looks. Yeah, it looks good. But the count's different. It's WXY. All right, what are they going to do? Are they bearish tonight or bullish tonight? What are they going to do? We're at a crossroads here, guys. At a crossroads. What's volume telling me? Not anything super significant. I don't see any peak volume. Okay, H bar, back to H bar. That's kind of the way I'm looking at H bar. Let me go to the next chart. Durgam, no problem, buddy. No problem at all. What's up, Salt and Pepper? Let's look at VeChain. VET, where are you? There you are. Okay, VeChain. Let's look on the weekly. So this is confirmed as 3 because this low got taken. So now this is looking very 3-wave-ish. Is it finished? It's close. We're getting a green candle. We just got a green weekly. So the momentum is shifting, right? Go to the daily here. But what is it? See what's interesting here. See that 3-wave move, boom, and then this 3-wave move. That's no way to end anything. That's just not an ending I'm used to seeing, right? So it's just really challenging wave structure right now. Ending diag potentially. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not beautiful. The 5th wave didn't really come to an area I would love as a target, but it's not bad. So this might be the beginning stages of a pullback, or it's going up and we're going to come down again. I'll tell you what, the V-chain chart is just that's just trash. But what the good news is, I suppose, if there is good news, is that that looks like 3 waves. So is this going to work its way up, pull back, and then continue up? I mean, that's your hope, right? That's the hope. Is that what this chart's going to do? I can't say. I would guess this is prime for a correction. And is VeChain going to be one of those that lasts? Is VeChain going to be around for a while? Is VeChain going to die? I can't. I don't know. What's the bullish scenario? I'll be honest with you, I don't see one. Because that low got taken. So I'm having a hard time seeing it. It doesn't mean it's not here. It doesn't mean it can't be bullish. It just... this looks like 3 waves. So that tells me down. That's 3. So, I mean, I guess the bullish scenario is up in 3. Up, boom, boom. That's the hope of, that's the wave structure hope for VeChain, that we get some kind of pump back up here, pull back, and a third wave, and that's a WX and a Y. That's the hope. That doesn't fit my scenario with Bitcoin much, so that kind of contradicts it a little bit. So I'm not sure how that plays out. And I could be wrong on Bitcoin. My scenario, my ultimate macro on Bitcoin might be wrong. I have good reason to believe what, and I shared all those reasons, and I explained tonight why I think what I think, but you know, who knows at the end of the day. All right, that's VeChain. What's the next one? APU USDT. Well, let me see if I can type it better here. All right, this is MEXC. I mean, there's nothing here, guys. There's nothing I can read here because of the, you know, it's not been around that long. What I would say is that there's some major volume right here on this, and then what happened? Major volume came in. We got a 3-wave shape back down, and now it's breaking out of that. So this looks relatively bullish. So this looks like it could go. So yeah, this isn't a bad setup here. If this low gets taken, it's no go. So if that low gets taken, it's no go. But as long as that low holds, any pullback that you get, and that low hold, and it starts moving up, that's can be bullish, right? For it could be just ABC, in which you get more down, right? So you want to take some profit when it starts to fizzle, but you could get a wave like this here. Not bad. That's the best I've got here, short-term time frame for APU. But there's no history here, so there's no reading it really. Hope that helps you for APU. Okay, let's look at Fartcoin. That's so stupid. So what is the deal with Fartcoin, guys? Salvador, no problem, buddy. Okay, yeah, no history here with Fartcoin either. Just looking at wave structure here. This is bullish. Okay. You have now this pullback provided a little bit of a scare here, but we don't have any kind of divergence here. So I would like to see another hit to the high. Ideally, that would be a nice wave structure to watch for. On the 4-hour chart, this looks, very, very much like that. Another hit to the high, then I would get bearish again potentially. So watch and see if you get another hit to the high here, and then a 3-way pullback would be expected after that, maybe. Okay, so that looks relatively bullish, but we're showing some signs of bearishness with that breakdown of the RSI. But as long as it breaks back up, as long as this 4-hour candle and the next 4-hour, couple candles get a little bit more bullish, that's going to be, this is a nice 3-wave shape here. So yeah, if we get another pump, that'd be ideal. That'd be nice. I don't know if you're going to get that, but that's an idea for sure. But if this starts to come down, that's not great. It could then pump. It could, and that would be 5 waves. Then we'd look for 3 waves after that. So that's another possible scenario. That's all I've got for you. So either a pump here and then maybe 3 waves back, or this keeps kind of coming down in 3 waves. We never take that high out, and then we take it out after 3 waves, something that looks like that, right? And then we take that, and that's some kind of leading diag, maybe. Otherwise, this is 3 waves. It's finished. We're coming down for 3 waves. And that's another. See, that's the thing. I don't know. So those are some ideas there for you to watch out for. You're going to have to learn how to use risk management and trade that. I hope that helps you. But those are my ideas there that I would, if I were looking at that chart, which I am, to trade it, those would be what I'd be thinking about. And I would watch for areas in which I could take a trade. So I'm in one of those areas right now, right? I'm in one of those areas. I have a 3-wave shape here. I've got boom. If you get a 3-wave pullback and a continuation, on that pullback, you could take a long and see what happens with the stop at the low. That's a way you could trade it. Yeah. That's a way. If this rolls over, takes that low, then you're stopped out and you only lost a little bit of money, and you look now for a bigger break of the larger structure, right? And then you take a long on the break of the larger structure. If you're looking for a long, otherwise, if I were looking for a short, if I believe this was going down, I would say, well, we've got a potential idea here. We got a potential ABC correction, and then we look for down. Didn't have to go hit the high again. It could just come down from here, pull back, and go down. And so this could be bearish if that trend line breaks, a short. But if it pulls back, stop at the high, right? It's not always that simple though to trade things, but those are some ideas to think about. Okay. Oh, this indicator at the bottom is my friend Ricky Spanish. It's his new indicator. It's called the Headhunter and the Oath. I don't know if I have Oath Keeper. Yeah, this is the Oath Keeper chart. You go check out Ricky Spanish's YouTube channel, and then you can get it. I haven't learned how to use it. It's just on my chart. I just picked it up because he just made it, so I just haven't had a chance to learn how to use it. But this is the the top one here is the RSI. Okay. So that's Fartcoin. What's the next one here? Super USDT. Okay, got it. Okay. Uh, you guys keep giving me these trash coins. That actually has history. My bad. Okay, my bad. It's got some history here. Yeah. This looks like an initial wave down. This is either some kind of wave 4, in which case we get a wave 5, or this is a reversal of it's a larger correction. We're getting ready to go up for a larger correction. But this looks like an impulse. Yeah, this looks so bad. Looks like you get a bit of a pump here with more down here. See that wave right there? That's what we're doing. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Okay, let's take a peek at gold, silver, the dollar, and then we'll look at the crypto dominance, the Bitcoin dominance, as you just requested. Let me take a peek at XRP here. BTC. Oh, come on. All right. All right, gold. So I looked at gold earlier. So gold's going parabolic, and I see it going up much, much higher. Let me show you the chart that I drew. All right, there it is. That's kind of the way I see the wave on gold. Silver is lagging. But I think silver's getting ready to make a move. I think silver's getting ready to start going parabolic. Silver's going to hit $60 in the next couple of years. So that's the way I'm seeing silver. This is just the beginning phases, I think. But it's lagging for sure. It's not going as fast as gold is. All right, S&P and Nasdaq, SPX here. Got on the weekly, we got a bit of a pullback on the weekly last week. The last 3 weeks have been reboundish, right? So this is the S&P. So is this getting ready to go parabolic for one more hit to the high? I mean, maybe, right? Or we just hit the first move. It's going to rebound and then roll over, right? So one of those two scenarios: either we go parabolic here and finish. Trump announces something tomorrow. It starts this bull run that lets everything top, get all the volume heavy, get everybody excited, and then boom, and then we have the crash after that. Maybe, really, maybe we got hidden bullish divergence here. So that scenario is on the table here, guys. That gives Bitcoin could have a final run, S&P, whatever. So, yeah, Those scenarios are here. But could the S&P be finished? It could be in a major 4-year cycle of wave forward before it gets that move as well. Okay. I'm just looking at it a little bit more carefully here. When I look at this wave, I see this as a 1-2 here. I see this as a 3. I think we're going to be in a multi-year bear market that doesn't kill the market, but it comes down to revisit 36 maybe. Let me just pull the fibs here. Yeah, this area right here, 30, 34, maybe it just real scary. And then we go again for wave 5. That's the way that looks to me. But I could be wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just out of proportion. This wave 2 is out of proportion with this wave 4. So I'm inclined to believe that this is the beginning stages of a larger wave 4. Then we get a wave 5. Multi-year bear market. Uncertainty, revisit, sell off, buy more. So I'm not sure, but I think we're bearish for several years. Up and down, staying in this range, no major gains. Gives the market time to sell. Okay. What else? NASDAQ. See, the NASDAQ looks more finished. When you look at the NASDAQ, this looks more proportional to that. So it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it looks also the same as well. In other words, 1, 2, and this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in a major 4, wave 4, and then we go up for 5. So we're in a correction. That's the way the NASDAQ and the S&P look to me, just counting the waves. But this does look like it's more of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential, which means we're in a really bear market here. Boom, 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 all the way down, right? To retest these lows. So that's the other possibility there. Hidden bull on the weekly. Let me take a peek. move my. Yeah, I mean, yes, there's hidden bull. There's exaggerated bullish divergence, but it ain't strong. All it's going to take to wipe that out is a pullback and a continuation, and that would wipe that divergence right on out. So, just saying. Yeah, but the hidden bull that I see, it ain't strong. This hidden bull right there was stronger than this hidden bull. But yeah, it's there for sure. And that's why I'm temporarily bullish. But again, are they going to shake us out to the low, or are they going up from where we are? That's the big question. Do they bring us down in 3 and then take it up? I kind of see that happening. That's my main idea. So I do see a retest of 100K coming relatively quickly. But, but everybody's going to get real bullish again. Okay, so there's NASDAQ, there's S&P. Finally, let's end the night, guys. It's 11:13. I've gone a long time here. Let's end the night. If you've watched this whole live stream, let me know in the comments, guys. If you've been here since the beginning. I know Chemo has. Thanks, buddy. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance here. BTCD. Where are you? Why can't I see it? I know it's in here. I thought I had a link. Oh, well, I'll just type it in. Okay, Bitcoin dominance here. That's the monthly right there. Bitcoin's just been rising in its dominance. So, looking at the monthly chart, it doesn't. The volume's at a bit of a peak here. So I don't know if it's right to read the Bitcoin dominance chart the way with Elliott waves. I really don't know if that's the right way to do it. Right? But I do know the volume here started boom, and it just lots of volume. So we've had a lot of volume going up. So lots of volume going down. And then there was a reversal. So now we got lots of volume going up. So it would make sense to me that it may have a little bit more to go here, but the Bitcoin dominance sometime this year or next year is going to start falling off. That would seem reasonable to me from this chart. And this kind of looks like 3 waves. In which case you could see Bitcoin dominance going down, or this could be an initial wave up, 3-wave pullback and more up. So I don't know. That's kind of the way I'm looking at that chart. I don't know how to read it necessarily, so I'm not sure that that's the right way to read dominance with Elliott wave, but there you go. There you go. This also, another way you can look at it, this looks like an initial wave. There's 3 waves, and maybe Bitcoin's just rising. Bitcoin's going to take off on dominance. Get a little bit of a pullback, and then boom. Or Bitcoin just becomes the dominant one, and all the other coins die off. Or a lot of the other coins die off, and that's a real possibility as well. So yeah, and that would be a big... And so, yeah, that would be a very big, move up. But the volume came in here, the strong volume here. So is that at a peak and mean we're getting ready to go down, or is that going to give us our final push up? I don't know. I'm not sure how to read it. So those are my thoughts. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I am exhausted. I'm tired. Epsilon, I'm not sure how to read that, buddy. It's just a big I don't know burger for me on that. But gave it my best shot. Those are the wave structures I see. Guys, and by the way, that's years of price action, right? So that's years, so just keep that in mind. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thanks, Kimosabi. I know you've been here. Thank you, buddy. Robot, glad you're here as well. Hope y'all have a fantastic week, and stay safe. We got big stuff happening, so be safe out there. Have a good night, guys. Bye.